FlySPI, the Springfield Municipal Authority for the airports, is, of course, always making moves and updating the facilities out there. And they've got a groundbreaking this morning that they're going to be hosting. And we'll get all the details now with Mark Hanna with the Springfield Airport Authority. Mark, thanks for your patience. Good morning. How you doing out there?
Yes, good morning.
Absolutely. So tell us, what's the groundbreaking going on today?
Yeah, thank you, Greg, for having us. Today, we are starting the construction, celebrating nearly 7+ years of effort going into this project, which is a 2.88 megawatt solar array power generation system that will produce nearly 400 million kilowatt hours annually. And this will be located on the north side of the airport's properties. We like to call it the North Quadrant. Facilities that will benefit from this are the airport-owned public safety facility, where law enforcement operations and fire, aircraft rescue and firefighting is housed and operated out of. The Federal Aviation Administration's Flight Standards District Office, and also primarily the largest benefactor will be Standard Aero. Many of your listeners will recognize that property as Garrett Aviation from years past. So this today we're kicking off the construction, and we're hoping to actually have the project energized by sometime middle of fourth quarter of this calendar year. So all things considered, if everything goes as planned, we should have this thing up and running by early November of this year, hopefully. So this is overall construction costs is some $5.6 million, and this would not have been possible if it wasn't for a number of partnerships that came together to make this project happen. Notably, the Illinois Block Grant Program Solar Renewable Energy Credits. Your listeners may have heard these, the acronym SRECs. SRECs are the credits that we receive based on the size of the system and so on and so forth. And that will account for some $2.3 million in dollars coming back to the airport through that program, and also offsetting nearly another $1 million is a third-party partnership where we're partnering with private investors, where we're actually taking advantage or being able to benefit from some of the tax advantages that group is able to leverage as well. So all told, some $3.3 million of the 5.6 are being offset by other partnerships and programs. The balance is being covered by the airport authority via lease arrangements and lease revenues throughout the term of leases for those tenants on the north side of the airport. So all in all, a great step forward. Our goal has always been to provide, a good, renewable, reliable alternative service or solar and energy a system for Standard Aero. We've been working with them for a number of years on this, and it's going to help them significantly as they look to continue their growth here in Springfield, and this will provide them some significant surety moving into the future as far as their rates are concerned, because many of these the per kilowatt hour rate that we are going to sell them, the airport authority, to Standard Aero, will be fixed and known, and they'll be able to budget and plan accordingly on that, and there's still room to make it work out economically. So as we look at this sustainable project environmentally, we also are very keen on ensuring that this is sustainable economically as well, Greg.
Mark Hanna, the Springfield Airport Authority, of course, the groundbreaking going on today at 10 o'clock at the Airport Authority, and they're going to be unveiling plans for a solar generation facility that's going to be helping the airports be sustainable when it comes to energy. So very cool to hear that. Mark, briefly here, just if you could, we've been hearing stories out of the UK of they're capping passengers, they're having problems keeping flights on time. We hear from travel advisors on the airwaves about how to best make plans moving forward if you're going to be flying places. Tell us how the Springfield Airport Authority is being impacted by air travel concerns, and is this a jewel in Central Illinois that we have to have an added resource and an alternative option for those flights?
Yeah, absolutely. we always encourage folks, especially local, people to look to fly local when they can. Certainly what's happening with the cost of fuel, crew shortages, employee shortages, primarily pilot shortages throughout the United States, and certainly we're starting to see that impact globally as well, as far as air carriers not being able to maintain schedules, certain routes, and things of that nature. So all of this coming together when there's a massive demand for air travel here as we enter into what many are calling a post-pandemic era, even though we understand this COVID situation continues to linger on. So we have massive amounts of demand, crew shortages, and there are a number of early retirements, the attrition rate through pilots, and we're seeing here this last spring that there were nearly 29 regional markets across the United States that were given notice that they were going to have service terminated, and I continue to see announcements over the wire about airports and communities losing markets and service altogether because of this pilot shortage in a crew situation. So the best way to plan is to always plan for the worst and hope for the best. Pack extra, change of clothes if you can, and plan for an extra day, and look for alternative places to stay if you think you're going to be laid over. And right now here in Springfield, how have we been impacted? Right now, we have been hoping that our flights to United on United up to Chicago would have been expanded by now with additional frequencies here post-pandemic, but we're seeing this pilot shortage that is severely impacting the flights system-wide. And right now, we're just asking people to download the apps, check in, monitor, check in early, monitor their flights, and have a backup plan and pack a little bit extra if you can. I know some people are opting not to fly. Some people still want to fly, and some people have to fly given their final destination. And that's what those folks are doing, is they're just planning for the worst.
Got to plan ahead, and that's something that you're doing with the groundbreaking again today, planning ahead for the future with that solar panel that's going to be unveiled, and the project starts today. So get out there to the Springfield Municipal Airport. Mark Hanna, greatly appreciate your time this morning.
Hey, thank you, Greg, and you take care.
It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7.